All right, we're going to talk about the nested if function in this video. Um, a simple if function is just where you test for a condition, and then your first option would be what would happen if it was true, and the second one would be what would happen if it's false. In a nested if function, it becomes a little more complex because your false becomes another if statement. So let's walk through an example of how to do one of these. Now, you don't have to do it the way that I'm showing you. There are many ways to do this, but this is just a way to kind of keep it straight when you have numerous ifs that are going to be nested. First one, here's my instructions on here. You would normally not have these on your spreadsheet, but I put them up here so you could see how I would think through trying to build a nested if. So first thing, this is an if statement. So I have my if function, open parenthesis. Then it's telling me in here that the first test should determine if the shipping option in C12 is blank. So it would be C12 equals blank. Now, how to tell it blank, you don't use the word. You actually just put two double quotes back to back. Make sure nothing's in between them, because if it is, then it's not blank, because the computer sees a space as something in it. So it should be two double quotes back to back, just like what you see on my screen. Then you have a comma. Then you're going to tell it what to do if it is true and what to do if it's false. So if it's true, you want it to be blank. So again, you put two more double quotes with nothing in between them, and that would tell it if it does test true, then put a blank in C12. After you have that, then you're going to have to tell it what to do if it is false. So what I want to do right now is say I know that if it's false, I have another if statement that it needs to do. So the if statement, the next one would be another if. So I'm going to just put in here, because I can see under here I have to figure out what that if statement is. So I'm just going to put if, and I'm going to put the letter B, because that's reminding me that my false is going to do what's in this B if statement here. So let's do the next if. If, and this one says if C12 is equal to H3. So we say C12 is equal to H3. That's what we're testing for. Then we tell it what to do if it's true. And in this one, it says, and so if the value, if it is, then the value in I3 should be used. So it uses I3. Then what do you do if it's false? Well, I have to do what C is, because C is my next if. So I'm just going to, again, to remind myself, I'm going to say if C. All right, now, I want you to do the third one yourself. It's done just like B. Okay, so do C yourself, and then I'm going to show you how to finish it up with D. If statement again, okay, and then I have an open parenthesis, and this time it says C12 should be equal to the option in H5, so it's equal to H5. What do you do if it's true? Well, it should be I5. Okay, so we got that. Then our comma, and then it says, this time there is no other if. So we have to do what it says. Otherwise, delivery error, and again, it has to be between the quotes, just like what you see here. Okay, so then in here, you would put the words to show up between double quotes, delivery error in cell C12. All right, this would give you your nested if here, and so you would be able to put that into your E12, and that would be your nested if statement. All right, then test it, make sure it works. Okay, so if you don't have anything in there, it should be blank. If you have pickup, then you should see 0. Standard should give you 5. Express, oops, if you spell it right, express should be 15. All right, so that kind of summarizes what a nested if. Now remember, you have to put these together yourself, and that is what's going to go into this E12. So, for example, when I say put them together, remember that you're going to take, let me kind of show you how to get that started. So if I'm putting all that together in there, oops, back in there, then I'm going to go if, okay, open parenthesis, C12, okay, is equal to blank, right, comma, if it's true, it's blank, right, or if it's false, you do the next if. So I have to start a new if, open parenthesis, and then I do what's in here in B. So that if was C12 equals H3, okay, comma, I3, comma, and then you do the next if. And that would be the one that you figured out right here in C. And then you do the next one. And this statement put together, which I figured out from here, would be what goes into E12. I hope that helps you figure out the nested if. Most of the time, the errors come from things like commas or quote mark, not having enough closing parentheses. Remember, for every open one, and we have 4 open ones because we have 4 tests here, you should have a closed one. So when you finish up this if, you will have 4 closing parentheses on your if statement. All right, if you have any other questions, you can email me and we'll work through them. Now, on the pull list, you also had a conditional formatting that you needed to do. So I'm going to go up and show you this is the column that you're working with right here. And conditional formatting, you would be on your Home tab, go to conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, and I think in your instructions it tells you to look at the condition if something was greater than. And you can see there are other choices here, but we're going to do greater than. And then whatever the instructions tell you, I'll do 199, and then you change the color to whatever color the instructions tell you. Okay, you can also do custom formats by pulling up the custom and then go to fill, and then you can actually pick any color that you would want to put into the fill as well. So you could do something custom, or you can just do something that's set up for you already. You'll follow the instructions that you have in SAM for your project, but in this case, you just pick greater than. In my case, I did here 199, and then I'm just going to leave it with green fill with dark green text. And that finishes the video for